one small thing we need to take care of first.
Hello, what is going on, everybody? Bullvice89 here, bringing you a game review of Murdered Soul Suspect. If you watched my 15 minutes of gameplay yesterday, you pretty much get the premise. If you didn't, it is on the channel. I will include a link down below. Basically, this takes place in Salem, Massachusetts, as you can see, and you are a detective who gets killed by a serial killer, and you're trying to stop him so that your unfinished business is finished and you can move on and find your wife in the afterlife in heaven. When I first started playing this game, I was a little weary. It's a good game. Before I get started, though, I always look online to also see what other people thought of the game, and a lot of people were complaining about the game being too short and not being able to go back and replay it, and I understand that. I like that it's short because I didn't know about it until I saw it coming out in the Redbox, and the Redbox does usually give you really long games that will cost you a lot of money. This game, if you sat down and played it, would probably take you a day or two. It's really not that long, and people were complaining about the combat system. First of all, you are a ghost. I don't see how you could fight really anything, since you just go through pretty much everything. But have you ever seen Rest in Peace Department? I don't think anyone has, but we won't talk about that movie. In this, as you can see on the screen right now, this part where you're trying to get back into your body was a little strange. The right stick controls your movements, and it's kind of weird. It kind of makes your body parts go in weird different directions. But that wasn't really that bad. It took a little bit to get used to, but after a couple times it was just fine. One thing I didn't like about this game is that it's very linear. It kind of shows you where to go and kind of shows you exactly what to do. There's not a whole lot of freedom. You kind of feel like the game's holding your hand throughout the game. And it's not really open world. Lately I've been playing a lot of sandbox types games, so I'm used to just being able to go and do whatever I want. This kind of gives you barricades that you can't go through. These little pits on the ground that I like to call hell pits, they're kind of like where demons come out of. Those kind of block your way. If you go through them, they try to get you. It's just very holding your hand. And I saw online that people were complaining about that too. But if you can get past that, this is a really cool game. I think if they made a sequel, if it's possible, and they kind of took more time and they kind of ironed out what was wrong in this one, maybe make it a little more sandbox titled, maybe worked on the, what am I trying to say, the mechanics a little bit, kind of make it a little less clunky, it would be a really good game. It has a really cool concept. The powers that you get that I'll go into in a little bit are really fun if you weren't having your hand held the whole time. So there's one of those hell gates I was talking about. You can't walk over those, so if you try to go that way, it'll eat you, and you can't. So it forces you to go other ways. This hay bale over here is blue. You can't walk through blue things. I don't know why the hay bale is blue, but everything else, as you can see, you can just pretty much walk through it. Walls, items, people, anything that's not blue. You can possess people, and you get a whole bunch of options to do with them. Like I can possess this police officer and look at his notebook. When you're trying to solve crimes, it gives you 3 badges at the bottom, and that's kind of like your rating for the mission. And you get choices. You have to see what's relevant to the killer, reading the clues and all that kind of stuff. And if you get one wrong, as you can see here, it takes away one of your badge, and it kind of lowers the overall rating of this investigation. See, and then you can you can basically try as many times as you want. You'll get down to 1 badge, and then you can just basically keep going until you get it right, which is, there's really no penalty for not getting it right the first time. It's just kind of, you get a lower rating, and it doesn't even really mean anything to get a rating. So, you just read through the clues and see which one's more relevant. You can depossess somebody at any time. There are usually crime scenes like this. This is my own crime scene where I died. But you can walk around and look at the clues and try to solve the murders that you encounter throughout the game. Here's the combat system I was talking about earlier. There are demons in the game. As you can see it over there. They're really friggin' weird looking, and they scream a lot, and it's pretty scary the first time you encounter them, because they just scream at you and chase you, and you have to hide in these little, I don't really even know what they're called. They're like smoky white light things. But people were complaining that there wasn't really combat, but you are Ghost, and you're fighting demons basically the whole time. So there's really no guns or anything like that. That would be kind of silly. But what you do is you hold the trigger and you basically rip the soul out of the demon, the good soul. Another instance of possession, you can possess this guy and read his mind. Or you can possess really anybody that you see in the whole game. You can possess this lady and influence her to kind of give you clues. You can give them suggestions about their what they've seen and everything like that, and their minds. You can influence them any way you want, just as long as you get it right. See, it gives you clues like this, and you kind of have to decide which one fits the story at the time. Buildings, you can only get in through cracks in the doors and windows. If somebody leaves the door open, then you can sneak in through that way. But other than that, most of the buildings are hollowed, so you can't get through. Later on in the game, you can possess cats, and they come in handy. As you can see, I really enjoyed playing as the cat. They can go through air vents and other things like that and jump really high and get you places. And it's kind of like you're riding inside of them. So when you depossess it, your guy will be sitting right there waiting till the end. The whole premise of it being in Salem kind of has to do with the Crucible, if you ever were in the 11th grade and saw this movie. Eventually you can get better powers like this. You can teleport. It's really cool. Eventually you start to feel like you're an X-Men. You can walk through walls, you can teleport. You can rip the souls out of people. It's pretty fun. There are a lot of things to collect in this game that if you walk around, there are plaques on the walls and stuff explaining Salem's history. There are murder what am I trying to say? I don't really know what they're called. Little tokens that you can collect that kind of tell you about old murders that happened before. And kind of in the spirit world, it's kind of like old Salem is coming through to present day. So a lot of the stuff isn't really there. There's burning buildings, there's train tracks going through the town. You can kind of see old Salem. As you can see, these ravens that you can click on kind of distract the demons, and you can take them down that way. It's really satisfying when the demons keep finding you and you have to run from them, and you finally get that demon and rip his soul out, and it's really nice. Here's another little side mission in the game where people don't know why they're dead and they have unfinished business, and you kind of use your detective work and you go around and you find out what happened to them and everything like that. And once you finally solve the mission, they ascend to heaven and they can finally move on and enjoy the afterlife. Here's another plaque and hell gate that you can't go through. You can also poltergeist items, and I was being a pretty big a-hole. I would run around and blow up copiers and make phones ring. It was pretty fun. This is one of the collection papers that you can get. It will tell about his life when he was alive. It'll tell about the killers, different murders that have happened in Salem throughout the years. just little collections. And if you collect each and every piece, it will give you an achievement. It's really cool. There are a lot of them to collect, as you can see, a lot of different side missions. Overall, this is a really good game. Could it be better? Absolutely. It's definitely a Redbox title. But definitely pick it up if you want to. It's not, I don't think, as bad as everyone says online. I like to give games the benefit of the doubt, and I know a lot of work goes into these games, but, you know, people are limited, and they can't always make games absolutely perfect, so I'm a little lenient on this one. How to Train Your Dragon 2 was a pile of crap, but this game is actually pretty good. If you can just ignore those little things that kind of get to you. I hope you enjoy this video. Like and subscribe. There is the first 15 minutes of the game posted up. A How to Train Your Dragon 2 review, and more videos coming each and every day. So I hope you like and subscribe, and keep watching. The channel is growing, and it's all thanks to you guys, the people out there watching all these videos that I put together, and subscribing and liking, and even leaving comments. Don't be afraid to leave comments. I know it's a little difficult now with Google+, but let me know what you want to see. I mean, I can play everything from Pac-Man on to the newest games out, so just let me know, and I'll be here playing games and doing what I love to do, and I'll be putting up content. I'll see you all in the next video. Thanks for watching.